Okay, I am going to take you through the geometry composition functions. And before I do that, one of the things that I want to mention to you is the idea of a composition means more than one thing's happening. So you could have something that looks like this, and the order is important. When you have something like this, it means you do the rotation first and then the translation. So this means a rotation, so you would rotate 90 degrees and it'll say about B or something. So you're going to do the rotation and then you would do the translation. And I think this is where a lot of students are making their mistake. They're reading these backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and look at some of these quiz questions. So on this first question here, it says, which rule, make that a little larger. It says, which rule describes the composition of these transformations? So you're starting off with C or B, C, D, and then it's going to B prime, C prime, and D prime. So how did I get from here to here? Well, as you can see, this is a reflection across the x-axis. So since that's the first thing that happens, it would be the second thing listed here. So since choice B and choice D both have a translation listed second, that eliminates both of those choices right there. So now what I'm interested in is which one of these it is. This says it would be a rotation across y equals negative x, and this one says it's a rotation across, or a reflection across the y-axis. Since this is reflecting across the y-axis, your answer choice is choice C. All right, next. It says write the rule to describe the composition of the transformations that map the pre-image ABC. Again, we're always going from the pre-image, which is in this case A, B, C, D. And then how do I finally get to A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, D double prime? Well, in between, you have to get to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. And so in order to do that, the question is, how did I get from here to here? So as you can see, each one of these points is a reflection across the x-axis. So since this is the first transformation to take place, again, we're going to look at those second items here. We can automatically eliminate choice 1 because this first thing that happens here is a transformation. We can also eliminate choice C because that is a transformation. Choice D is a rotation, so we can eliminate that choice. So the only thing that represents a reflection across the x-axis, the little r stands for reflection across the x-axis, is choice B. So choice B would be your answer. Okay. On the next question here, it says, which order pair name the coordinates of vertices of the pre-image of the triangle ABC? So this would be what the values are after it's gone through the transformation. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can work backwards. All right, so if we're going to work backwards, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are doing these operations in reverse. So the first thing we're going to do is reflect each point across the y equals x, which means each point xy becomes yx. The next thing we do is it says there's a translation of 4, 0. So that means 4 to the right, but we want to do the opposite. So we'll take a point and go 4 to the left. So let's start here with point A. Point A has coordinates -4 and 5. So the first thing we do is we want to go ahead and reflect it over y equals x. So that's going to give me 5, -4. So 5, -4 is right here at this point. And what I want to do now is that I'm going to take this point and go 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to put my original A there, which is at 1, -4, which is this point here. And let me go ahead and show you how to do one other point. Just erase this first. We don't have too much stuff in the way. Erase these points here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this point B. Remember here we're going 4 to the left. So we're going to take the point B, which is currently at -1, 5. So the first thing we do is we reflect it, which gives us 5, -1. So here's 5, -1, and then we want to go 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so there's that original B. So the original B was at 1, -1. And you're going to do the same with C and D to get all 4 of those points. They turn out to be the -1, 5 and -1, 0. All right, here it says, what is the final transformation in the composition of the image? So it says, what is the final transformation? So remember, we're starting off with GH, JK. That's going to go to G prime, H prime, J prime, K prime. And then the final transformation is when you do the double prime. Okay. So to get from the first rotation, from the first item, the pre-image to the first image, that's a rotation. So that's the first transformation. They want to know what the last one is. So to get from the second image to the final image, that would be a reflection across M. A reflection across M. So that's the second one that takes place. All right, and our last problem here says you have a parallelogram, F double prime, G double prime, H double prime. It's the final image after the rule that was applied. It says, what are the coordinates of vertex F of the parallelogram? So again, we want to go backwards. So that means the first thing we want to do is reflect across the x-axis. Now or y-axis. To reflect across the y-axis, xy, the original coordinates xy, when you reflect across the y-axis, become -x, y. And then the next thing they have is they have a translation that was 1 to the right and 2 up. So instead we want to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to go 1 to the left and then 2 down. So we want to take those coordinates of F. F has coordinates at 3, 4. So the first thing we're going to do is that reflection across Y. So that's going to be -3, 4. So we go to -3, 4. And then we take it 1 to the left and 2 down. So my answer is -4, 2. -4, 2. So you want to go in the opposite direction. Okay, I hope this helps you. I'm also going to send you another link on composition of transformations. Watch them both. When you're finished, let me know and we'll reset your quiz.